What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Giovanni Giles for the Cash App donation. Salute to you, brother, for showing love. And anybody want to show love to this channel, you can do so in the link in the pinned comment in the comment section below, or in the Cash App or PayPal links that are rolling under this thumbnail. So let's talk about this, man, because I don't think they're getting enough smoke for this. We got to call out load management when it's always being done, okay? And what the Golden State Warriors did last night was load manage, okay? The Sacramento Kings won 121-116. Russell Westbrook had a magnificent performance. And you could argue the Golden State Warriors, given the margin of victory and given how terrible this Kings team is, you could argue that they gave that game away. Now, I believe Zach LaVine, for whatever reason, he low managed too, but what the Golden State Warriors did was especially egregious. Now, this was, I believe, the second game of a back-to-back. Everybody know the Warriors are kind of old, so they low manage. Okay, they Steve Kerr tried to throw it off like Steph Curry got a bad head cold or some shit. He's laboring and it's getting worse. So, try to play it off. Man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. You know the climate right now, Steve Kerr. You know who you play with. You know who you played with, and you know that man would not have missed the game because of a fucking cold. And he was carrying that team by himself that last year in Chicago with Scotty playing games with the front office. He didn't miss any damn games. It took Michael Jordan being hospitalized or a broken bone for him to not be out there. Anything else, he was out there on the goddamn court. And Steph Curry ain't immune to this shit either. That's why I don't have him as a top 10 all-time player. I'm starting to see dumb shit, like people having him top 5 all-time. Top 5 players don't miss games because no damn head cold, man. If you're too old to play basketball, then sit your ass down and retire. Point blank period, man. Jimmy Butler didn't play. Draymond Green didn't play. So it's just a coincidence all those guys. Come on, we know what time it is. They old. They old. And they can't handle the rigors of an NBA season to the point where they can play multiple games or a lot of basketball in a small period of time. And the thing that gets me is I keep trying to tell people these guys play less back-to-backs than ever. I think most teams play now probably 8 to 10 back-to-backs a season now. I remember back in I think as recently as the early 2000s, you still had back-to-back playoff games. Back in Wilt Chamberlain them days, man, forget about the fact that they was playing at Chuck Taylor's. Those guys was playing 72 to 80, 82 games a year, 40 minutes plus a game. One year, Wilt Chamberlain played about basically every minute of every fucking game. He played all 80 games that year. He played every minute of every playoff game he played. The only breaks he got was timeouts. And he's playing hard on both ends. So you know how draining that got to be to take 40 shots a night and to play defensive player of the year level defense on the other end. And y'all talk about this dude couldn't make it today. Are y'all serious, man? And they were playing 30, 35 back-to-backs back then. The season would start in late November and end in early March. They was playing back-to-backs all the time. As a matter of fact, I think in the 61-62 season, They had stretches where they was playing 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row, 4 days in a row of basketball. So I'm sorry, man. With my historical knowledge, I know how much they played. And those guys had migraine headaches. Those guys had to deal with all those maladies back then. They weren't missing games. And I'm not saying everybody's the same, but those guys was missing life-changing events. Like they was missing the birth of their children and shit like that because they were dedicated to the game. They had to sacrifice. And I'm not saying everybody should do that, but head coach, bro, nah. Too many Americans right now that are struggling paycheck to paycheck. There are Americans right now who work for the government who ain't getting a paycheck. They're not getting fucking paid, bro. And they got to figure out a way to make money. And we supposed to be defending multimillionaires who can't play because they got sniffles. They got a cold. Come on, man. Are we serious, man? I don't care if this dude is Steph Curry. He can get it too. If Giannis can get it, if Luka can get it, he can get it. And I'm glad a lot of these players are speaking out now and talking about, yes, they admire these players' skill. They admire the shooting and offensive skills these guys have. But the eras of the past they were tougher, bro. They were tougher. I'm sorry. And it ain't about just the game being more physical. They were just fucking tougher, bro. Did that generally lead to a shorter career? Perhaps. But you got the most out of your talent, man. And a lot of these guys aren't getting the most out of their talent. I ain't gonna do a video on Zion Williamson. Now all of a sudden, I'm not gonna knock him because, calf injuries happen, man. But it's you gotta think, man, all the years of him being out of shape and not being top tier conditioning got something to do with why this dude is so susceptible to these leg injuries. People talking about, it's the way they play defense now with the stopping and starting and all that. I don't buy that, man. I don't buy that at all. These guys just aren't in the same shape, and they're not mentally dedicated to the game, man. They're not mentally dedicated in the way that they should be. And I'm not talking about Steph Curry right here, but that because he is a warrior, literally, when it comes to what I'm saying, bringing it usually. But I've seen him pull this shit before, ducking back to backs, sometimes missing certain matchups. And it's some other stuff about him that I think could be critical. You could be critical of, but nah, this right here. This is one of those situations where they saw they were playing the Sacramento Kings, and they figured they could beat them without those 3. Let me give you old guys a rest. Steve Kerr tried to cover for Steph Curry, talking about some cold. I don't hear that shit, man. We all know about Michael Jordan and the flu, or whatever the fuck it was. He had stomach poisoning, alcohol poisoning, drunk. I don't know what the fuck, super hangover, whatever it was. He played through that shit and scored almost 40 points. I'm sorry. I watched Michael Jordan play basketball, man. I watched Kobe Bryant play basketball. So my threshold, my expectations of a superstar, you want to be called all-time great, it ain't all about just putting up numbers. It's about going out there and performing through adversity. And some of these dudes, I'm sorry, man, they just soft. That's all I got to say about it.